Today, all new.
Never in 25 years have we ever.
A landmark hour.
Would you say there are Republicans you admire? What do you want your legacy to be?
Next.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's legendary producer, director, and actor, Quentin Tarantino! Quentin, how is it going?
Oh, it's going great. The movie world is just rocking nowadays.
I hear it is. Now, I hear that you've been making and are almost complete with your newest movie, Crime and Punishment.
And of course you would know about that since you are an actor within the film.
Indeed.
Yes, there's some great themes and motifs that have emerged while filming it. It's going to be a great movie. I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
And can you please explain to the audience what a few of these motifs are?
Well, one of them that is really just present throughout it is, do the ends justify the means? Something I think most people see in their day-to-day lives, and you can see that in this clip right here.
Let's take a look, viewers.
I wanted to become Napoleon. That is why I killed her. Do you understand now?
No. Only speak. I shall understand. I shall understand myself.
You'll understand? Very well. We shall see. It was like this. I asked myself, one day, this question, what if Napoleon, for instance, what if he had happened to be in my place, and he had not Toulon or Egypt, nor the passage of Mont Blanc to begin his career with, but instead, all of those picturesque and monumental things, there had simply been some ridiculous old hag, a pawnbroker.
Wow, what a powerful scene. Such emotion displayed in this scene. I was one of the characters, but even now, that emotion is just overwhelming.
Oh, definitely. You can see emotion throughout the film, but I think it's definitely present within that clip as he tries to justify to Sonia why he committed those murders. And that's a justification he tries to make in many other ways too, as we can see here.
Pride and self-confidence grew continually stronger in him. He was becoming a different man every moment. What was it that had happened to work this revolution in him? He did know himself, like a man catching at a straw. He suddenly felt that he too could live, that there was still life for him, that his life had not died with the old woman. Perhaps he was in too great a hurry with his conclusions, but that he did not think of that. Wow, Raskolnikov really tries to justify his murder. It's so apparent.
And his justification isn't one that's uncommon in the novel. There are other characters that try to justify his murder even before he did it, as you can see here.
Well, listen then. On the other side, fresh young lives thrown away for want of help, and by the thousands. On every side. 100,000 good deeds could be done and helped on that old woman's money, which will be buried in a monastery. Hundreds, thousands perhaps, might be set on the right path. Dozens of families saved from destitution, from ruin, from vice, from the lock hospitals, and all with her money. Kill her, take her money, and with the help of it, devote oneself to the service of humanity and the good of all.
And you know, an additional example of this can be seen where Luzhin apparently tries to justify murder of his own for monetary gain.
Let's take a look. What answer had your lecturer in Moscow to make to the question why he was forging notes? Everyone is getting rich in one way or another, so I want to make haste to get rich too. I don't remember the exact words, but the upshot was that he wants money for nothing, without waiting or working. We've grown used to having everything ready-made, to walking on crutches, to having our food chewed for us. Then the great hour struck 1, and every man showed himself in his true colors.
But morality, and so to speak, principles. But why do you worry about it? It's in accordance with your theory. Accordance with my theory?
Why, carry out logically the theory you were advocating just now. It follows that people may be killed.
Upon my word!
No, that's not so.
There's a measure in all things. Economic ideas are not an incitement to murder, and one has to suppose.
Wow, how did you balance this essential, need for murder with your audience?
Well, I think that while all of these characters try to justify what they're doing as being righteous or helping more people than it hurts, in the end, Raskolnikov says it best where he says, "When reason fails, the devil helps."
Indeed. Great quote by Raskolnikov.
So, Oprah, being as it were that you were part of this film and you played many characters within it, you've definitely got to have your own favorite character, theme, motif.
Indeed, I noticed so many motifs when I was reading through the script, and one of them that really stuck out to me was moral law. And one of the scenes that I found really striking was when Raskolnikov was explaining how he can essentially justify great people killing and committing murder for their own causes. Let's take a look. There is, if you recollect, a suggestion that there are certain persons who can, that is, not precisely are able to, but have a perfect right to commit breaches of morality and crimes, and that the law is not for them. Well, in your article, all men are divided into ordinary and extraordinary. Ordinary men have to live in submission. They have no right to transgress the law. Because, don't you see, they're ordinary. But extraordinary men have a right to commit any crime and to transgress the law in any way, just because they are extraordinary. That was your idea, if I'm not mistaken. Okay.
Indeed, I believe it's this very theory which drove Raskolnikov to commit these murders.
I agree, and in his final confrontation with Porfiry, you can see Raskolnikov finally realize that it is this theory that has caused him to commit these murders, and this theory that eventually led him to be the evil person he was. Let's take a look. Here we see resolution in the first stage, but resolution of a special kind. He resolved to do it like jumping over a precipice or from a bell tower, and his legs shook as he went to the crime. He forgot to shut the door after him, and murdered 2 people for a theory. He committed the murder and couldn't take the money, and what he did manage to snatch up, he hid under a stone.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it's quite apparent looking through the rest of the film, too, that Raskolnikov isn't alone in believing in this theory.
Indeed. In fact, when he finally confesses to Sonia, you can see his emotions and how he tries to once again justify that this is really the way law should be, that he should be able to murder a lower person because of how great he is. Let's take a look at this scene, shall we?
I saw clear as daylight how strange it is that not a single person living in this mad world has the daring to go straight for it all and send flying to the devil. I wanted to have the daring, and I killed her. I only wanted to have the daring, Sonia. That was the whole cause of it. I think from that clip you can sort of glean from what he says of how low he believes other people to be.
I wholeheartedly agree. And in fact, just a few moments later, he clearly describes, just how low that pawnbroker was in this scene right here. Let's take a look. As though that could be the truth. Good God!
I've only killed a louse, Sonia. A useless, loathsome, harmful creature.
A human being? A louse?
I too know it wasn't a louse. But I'm talking nonsense, Sonia. I've been talking nonsense a long time. That's not it. You're right there. There were quite other causes for it. I haven't talked to anyone for so long, Sonia. My head aches dreadfully now. Wow, a view like that I think would be totally incomprehensible for any one of us to actually have.
Indeed, and I believe that the quote that Raskolnikov says, "I didn't kill a human being, but a principle," really allows us to connect to the ideas that Raskolnikov was having, that he didn't murder for the blood, but rather for the idea. Well, Quentin, it's been great having you on this show, and I'm really excited to see when your movie is coming out, see it live, in the theaters, see all the action on the big screen.
Yep, and you can see it in any theater if you go on April 13th, 2014. It'd be great to have all you in the theaters.
In fact, it's so great to have all of you in the theaters, we've given all of you a movie ticket to Mr. Tarantino's movie!
Which Oprah is
Sponsored
starring in.
by Coca-Cola.
Open Happiness. Well, it's been great being on here. Thank you for the opportunity to...
No problem, Quentin. No problem. Anytime. I will see you again soon. And thank you, viewers, for watching The Oprah Show.